And just like that, we are back. Another episode of the Beerly Hoops podcast here at the Beerly Sports Network. Dort, chill out. I'm Trev Scott, joined with YOTB Dort as always. Before I ask you how you're doing, because I know it's important how you're doing, I ask you every time. Last week's episode, for y'all that listen, Dort wanted me to go back and look for his bad takes.
Is that early in the intro?
I got a little surprise for you guys right here.
Can we intro first? Why did you? You can't cut off we didn't plug or nothing.
No, I'm cutting all that off, dude. Right when I said like a little surprise, I'm cutting all that. I'm playing your bad takes, and then yeah. So fuck you.
YouTube don't even know what's going on right now. We're in static shock right now. Can I talk?
Yeah,
are we going straight in? I had a whole thing planned, and then you just fucked me up.
Here we go. All right. So the people have heard your 5 horrible takes that I went back and found. Those are my 5 favorites. I have them written down, so to give you a chance to explain yourself.
Wait, hold up. If you're listening at home, like, we do this. It's us doing this right now. So, like, he just said, listen to the takes, and then me and him looked at each other in the face, and I didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Welcome to Beerly Hoops, baby. Welcome to the experience. Oh, let's do our let's get right into this. We'll do our plugs after this. Let's give the people what they want. Yeah, your first hot take.
No, hold up. Look, I'm doing great. We're counting down to when I'm 21, so we could have a beer pod. So I had to whip it out, man.
I
had it on deck, and you just fucked up the whole intro because you want to be funny, bro.
I'm excited about this. I'm excited about your bad take. You told me last week. You said all you do is good takes. You've never had a bad take, nothing. So I did my homework.
Fuck you.
So, but I respect the Capri Sun though. That'll give you a little extra points for everybody at home. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Beerly Hoops, at Beerly Sports. We got an extremely fun episode. We're gonna have our boy Alex on.
They heard the takes. They're gonna forget the takes. You got it. You fucked up the whole
ass intro we've ever had. All right, we're doing the takes. Take number 1. Your pick for MVP was Chris Paul.
But that Chris Paul got hurt, so that's a fair pick. They were the best team in basketball, and he was the best player on the best team.
He was scoring he was not the best player on the best team. Devin Booker was the best player.
But like, people love to talk about like Darius Garland, for example, and like his stats like are on the same level as Chris Paul. But Chris Paul won more games.
It'll be interesting to see where we all have Darius Garland on our list, as our feature segment today is the top 20 guards in the NBA, both point guards, shooting guards, combo guards, all that. Number 2, your second bad take. Again with the Suns, you had them so confidently. You interrupted me 3 times in a row to tell me that when he wins a ring this year, when the Suns win a ring this year, the Suns will win a ring this year, the Suns winning the title. They didn't even sniff it. They weren't even in the conference finals, fam. Talk to me. What happened?
Listen.
You were confident, too.
Chris Paul got hurt again, man. You're talking about an injury, and I think it's honestly disrespectful to be picking on an injured player, especially one of the historical talent as Christopher Emmanuel Paul.
Okay, well, let's move on to number 3. Move away from the Suns. I spazzed right here. This was an early-ass podcast, and I said I couldn't see the Nuggets winning more than 1 playoff game this year, which they won 1 playoff game this year, to which you promptly responded, nah, that's the Mavericks. I can feel the same way about the Mavericks. The Western Conference Finals Mavericks. What happened?
What happened? You set yourself up on this one.
How?
Because I don't miss on takes, and the only time unless it's injuries, the only time I missed on a take was when a team went against Rudy Gobert, and Rudy Gobert let you down once again. Just give up, bro. We didn't. You're in a toxic relationship with Rudy.
I am not.
Fine, but you don't gotta be pushing it at this point.
Don't even make this about Rudy. You said you could see the Mavericks winning 1 game in the playoffs, and they made the Western Conference.
Did I say it was against Utah?
You see, I mean, it could have been. See, I talked about. I even said when I talked about the Nuggets, I said they're going to play one of the top 3. They're going to play the Warriors, they're going to play the Suns, or they're going to play the Jazz, and they're not going to win more than 1 game. And you said
if the Nuggets played the Jazz, you shouldn't have put your take in here, because if the Nuggets played the Jazz, the Nuggets would have won.
I don't think so.
I think the hood knows, and that's all that matters.
No, because that's the best defensive player in the league going up against Jokic, and that's all they have. Jokic is a better
defender than Rudy.
Okay, Donovan Mitchell or Will Barton?
Will Barton.
No.
Will Barton's
Promptly.
on my top 20 guards.
Okay, promptly moving on to number 4. I'd love to hear your excuse for this. Same kind of thing, Mavs. I would bet my life they, the Mavs, don't make it out of the first round. Clip it. End quote.
Again, you just used the same take twice. We're talking about a team that played against Rudy Gobert. When you're playing 4-on-5 basketball, I expect you to win the series.
That is the best defensive player in the league.
He's not.
That'll
because
give
he
you
gets played out.
14 and
He gets
12.
played out in the playoffs every year.
No.
So I mean, what are we talking about?
No.
Come on, man. This dude got fucked up by Maxi Kleber, and you're gonna call him the best defensive player in the league. Come on, I can't wait for us to get to centers because this dude Rudy might not snip my top 8 centers in basketball, especially projecting. If I'm projecting, bro,
this is the year of the beer. This is the year of the Rudy too. This next year in Minnesota, we're gonna see some great things.
Tell me this.
Number five is my favorite.
Can I tell this? Trevor told me that if I wanted to know, he would have told me all the takes, but I'm guessing not this one because it's that bad. That's what he said.
This is the one I did not want you to hear. We're talking about teams sneaking in the playoffs. I said, Dort, if there was one team that is not currently in the playoff hunt that you could see sneaking into the playoffs, who would it be? And who do you think you said? I could not believe you said this, dude.
East or West?
Just give me a guess before I tell you.
And you said not in the... Okay, before... I feel like this is about to be wild. Before you say anything, you said not in the playoff hunt?
I said they aren't currently in the playoffs, like if the season were to end today, but a team that you could see sneaking into the playoffs.
And not play in?
This was in the second half of the season.
Not play in either?
Right.
Kings, probably.
No. The 20-win Houston Rockets. I could not believe you said that. I don't even remember you saying that. Huh?
I said that?
Yeah, listen to the pod when it comes out. It's going to be in the first, 3 minutes.
Did I have anything?
You started going in on, why you think they're good and, whatever, other teams. I thought you were going to say OKC, and you're like, nah, not OKC. Leave them out of this. Houston. I was like, what?
I didn't hear that clip because I bet I had a great argument and you're taking me out of context.
I'll send it to you. Hey, this is not a context podcast. This is the Dort Bad Take Show.
This is the Lunch Table podcast. But let me check because our intro is so scuffed. Let me check if we got any reviews lately. Trevor, you have worse takes than me, bro.
I have not. I've never had a bad take in my life.
Stop it.
Let me tell you. Let me get into some plugs.
Wait, hold up.
What up?
We did get one review. But this review might be it's a little fucked up. I love this podcast. Speaker is clever and very knowledgeable. 10 out of 10.
Speaker?
Which speaker?
There's 2 of us. It's not you. You said the Rockets were making the playoffs. So thank you. I appreciate you. Whoever said that about me.
Thank you to KDHABAKSHSHD. Kadhabadak?
That shit sounds fake.
Hoop. And the title for the review is Hoops! ! 5-star review. Hey, I fuck with you, bro.
Appreciate you,
DM me on Twitter.
Facts. Yeah, let us know who you are. Yeah, I would love to know. But yeah, if you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Beerly Hoops, at Beerly Sports. We got all the other sports in the bio. A lot of fun stuff coming up in football. Fun stuff in baseball. World Cup's coming up. Beerly bets, man. It's the year of the beer. Dora, you got anything you want to plug before we get into this basketball talk?
Bro, every time we talk about plugs, I can't believe I plugged for 10 straight minutes.
You did that one episode?
That's real. Thinking about that realistically, bro. How the fuck did I do? That's impressive.
You went in depth on Discord, went in depth on the website. I don't know.
Bro, a commercial break is 5 minutes, and that's 7 different commercials. I plugged our show for 10 minutes. Someone's got to hire me, bro. I love Beerly, but if the Athletic comes calling, bro, and Mark Palaio's on the other line and says,
Mark Palaio.
Shout out Mark. I might have to accept the deal, man. But not. I've been streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/DaddyLilDort. My YouTube's back also, YOTB Dort on YouTube, man. Y'all check out all that. Discord, as always, you guys can check that out. Link's gonna be in the YouTube description. And then the website beerlysports.com. Alec published an article last week. Fire article. Great article.
Shout out to Arlick. I mean Arlick. Shout out to Garlic.
Who's Arlie?
Shout out to Alec. Hey, it's a beer pod too. You know what it is.
You know, man. Talk about beer league football for a second, man. I feel like it's been a great week for beer league football.
It has. We filled all our spots for fantasy football for the personal leagues we're doing. We had a very fun draft last night. A lot of people tuned in for. So congratulations to everybody who got drafted last night. Your life's gonna change forever. Football season's coming back. You know, we're in the preseason. You know, if you're a big NFL fan, definitely go check us out at Beer League Football. It's a very fun show over there. Last week's show was extremely entertaining. We ranked our top 20 players in the NFL. And we pretty much argued the entire last 45 minutes of the show. So check it out on YouTube. Check it out anywhere you can find your podcast. Just search up Beer League Football. But without further ado, let's get into the best basketball segment in the world, the Dort Report. What do you got for us today?
Let the music play.
The music's banging.
I'll run the music back one more time.
I'll do it.
And one more? Or no, I'm not pushing it.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. YouTube, you don't get the music, man. Trevor's on top of it on the podcast, man. The best podcast listening experience. We got a lot of fun stuff today. Let's start off with like probably the funniest thing I heard. Udonis Haslem's free agent decision. He's gonna make this Sunday. This bro thinks he's LeBron. That's by far the funniest thing I've ever heard. So what do you think? What do you think Udonis Haslem's gonna do coming up this Sunday?
Bro, the decision part 2. Bro, Kerry I was running around. I had a lot of errands to do today. I wasn't at home a lot. But Kerry texted me while I'm driving, just out of the blue, and he said, "Dude, the Miami Heat are so fucking stupid." And I was like, "Damn, like what happened?" And I forgot about it. I never looked into it. But that is hilarious. A Udonis Haslem decision. We should live stream it.
We should, bro.
Just chewing my fingers.
What if he shocks the world?
But it's like, what else is he gonna do besides? Is he gonna retire? Like, is he gonna sign a 1 year, like $2 million deal? Like,
it's either retire, sign a deal, or what if he shocks the world and like signs with the Lakers?
That would be crazy. This man is going to have this all set up. A few thousand people are going to be watching. He's going to retire, and no one's going to give a shit outside of Miami.
No,
Miami's big. Miami's big.
Udonis Haslem's pulling Barely Hoops YouTube numbers.
Facts. If Udonis Haslem wanted to be on the Beerly Hoop show, I'd have to think about it. I'd have to check the schedule. Like, I'd be like, yeah, I'll let you know. Like, I'll have my guys talk to your guys. Just send me I'll give you my card, you know.
I'm going to post this on TikTok, and we're going to get a Udonis Haslem response, and he's going to be like, "You young fellas don't respect the game."
Y'all wouldn't say this to my face.
He's going to be like, "Yo."
Yes, I would.
This is literally how he's going to respond. "Yo, this Udonis Haslem of the Miami Heat." A whole ass intro to himself because no one knows who the fuck he is. And just be like, "Fuck y'all. Y'all don't respect the game. I'll still give dudes 40 if I was out there playing, but..."
Fuck no. Your career high is 28, pal.
I wonder what Udonis Haslem's career high is. I feel
28. I told you, Basketball Encyclopedia. I told you, I know too much about sports. It's 28. He did it 3 times. He scored 28 3 times. I don't know why you're Googling. You got the Basketball Encyclopedia right here.
Wait, why is it actually 28?
3 times.
He did it 2 times.
Oh, 2 times. Excuse me.
What would you say his record for rebounds is?
14?
18.
18, that's respectable. That's not bad.
Bro, I had 5 steals in a game. I'd be pissed.
We need to talk more shit about Kendrick Perkins because he's the type of guy that would actually respond.
Yeah, that's true.
I told Kerry to do that AB tweet today.
Fuck you, Kendrick Perkins.
I can't even talk shit about Kendrick Perkins. I like the guy.
I do.
But that Kobe, you remember that Kobe story he said? That was crazy.
No, what was the...
Well, after Kobe died, he was like, Kobe pulled me aside in a game and told me I was one of the best download defenders he's ever seen. Shut up.
The LeBron thing is crazy, where he's like, they're doing the whole Kobe thing, and LeBron's sitting there, and he's like, I was watching this random game, and I was like, Kobe's going to go out there and score 70 tonight. Sure enough, he has 70.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, I think he goes for 81. And he went for 81.
Yeah, Bron's like, I don't know, I just had this weird feeling. Bro, he's such a funny liar. You seen that one interview in the shop where he's talking about Game 6 against Boston, and he's like, I was just trying stuff. He's like, I'm not even a right shoulder bump fade kind of guy. I'm like, bro, what the fuck does that even mean? Oh, you're not a right bump shoulder fade kind of guy? Shut up.
The videos of LeBron rapping are funny, but the most recent one where he has the phone in his hand and he's reading the lyrics. That shit is hilarious.
It ain't easy. I'm gonna have to put his song right here. Let the people hear a clip of it.
Speaking of LeBron's on here, man. We kind of called it. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago.
Right, last week, yeah.
We talked about the contract. LeBron is now the most paid NBA player off NBA contracts alone, man. Shout out the king, man.
532 mil. Let me ask you something. I'm gonna ask the people this on IG tomorrow. Who do you think has the best odds to catch him? You think it's a guy like Zion, a guy who's really young and really touched a lot of money?
I don't want to be the guy that talks about injuries, right?
So, right, yeah, but you might.
In a perfect world.
In a perfect world, it's Zion, yeah.
Zion's the best player in basketball, probably history.
No.
Bro, imagine Zion gets to the point where he shoots like 35% from three.
That would be insane.
That man would average 40, bro. He averages 27 and doesn't go more than 4 feet away from the basket.
What is he, 61, 63%, something like that?
That's so crazy, bro. So imagine he could shoot a little bit.
Off the top of my head, I think it's 61.1%, but that's just encyclopedia. Pull it out. It might be 61.1%. If it's not, I'm going to give up the encyclopedia talk.
Should have been done it, honestly.
But if it is 61.1%, go ahead and leave us a review because that's crazy. I'm 2 for 3 on stats that nobody knows about.
Wait.
Yup, I seen the look on your face. Yup.
Bro, I was literally about to troll and say it was 61.1%, and then I pull it up and it is 60.
Yup, I tried to tell him. I tried to tell. Boy, I haven't had a job in months. This is all I care about. This is all I do, bro.
I just scroll his basketball reference.
Alarm goes off at 6:30. I get all dressed up. I drink my coffee, and I'm like, Zion Williamson shooting percentage. Like,
oh, that's kind of crazy. Speaking of players injured and returning, Jamal Murray is going to return in the preseason. That's what the streets are saying.
Okay, I like that. He needs to get some ball underneath him. Get some minutes in.
Bro, yeah, that was no. That's a crazy pause. That is a crazy pause. What do you mean by that? Ball underneath him? What the fuck does that mean? I never heard that.
Just like getting some like minutes underneath his belt. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to be something like that.
Ball underneath him, freak.
I tried to say something like something sus about him getting, but
listen, no 2K ratings this week.
Fair.
But there is 2K23 news, and I know you're a My League guy. Did you see what the news is?
No, I didn't.
They got this new. I just wanted to talk about this honestly, because we're boys,
Yeah.
They got this new thing in My League.
Strippers?
I wish,
Oh.
I'd be grinding 2K.
Continue. Yeah.
There's 3 different eras you could pick to start from now when you start your My League. So you could start from like the 80 season and it'll have the full rosters.
I can play with plumbers and mailmen?
You could start in the 80s. No, you can't because you can't play in the 60s.
I can play back in the freaking 80s and 90s when there was like 20 teams.
We literally talked about this before we recorded the show. Trevor's been doing this lately where every guest we have on, he'll pull shit out.
Yo, shout out to Jonda. Shout out to Jonda.
That was the Jonda right there.
In the NBA when MJ won rings. That's all
said
Jonda.
Rim pressure. He said rim pressure before the show. I mean, you started to scare me, man. What are you going to pull from Paleo?
Baked beans from our boy Jordan. I had baked beans for breakfast. Puleo, I'm growing out my beard. Trying to be like you, my boy.
Albini,
nothing yet. That was our 3rd episode.
That's early.
But he'll be back. So I'm sure I'll steal something from him.
No, but that's you could play in different eras. I think that was cool. They had like the 83, so you start like the year before Jordan's drafted, so you could try to play for like that draft pick.
That
And
is
then
sick. Have a whole career with Jordan, bro. Go in
that's
the
what I'm
West and
saying.
meet him in the finals.
They got 91, so it's the year before Shaq, and then they have the year before LeBron. So those are the three. That era is gonna be tough. I'm gonna play that shit so much.
Yeah, that's hard.
Um,
Yeah, I need
I,
that.
I saw this question on NBA Reddit. If LeBron played until he was no longer NBA level, how old do you think he would be?
Okay, are we talking about like just like efficiency wise? Like
I'm talking about like where he would be like the 13th
the
man on
worst
the
player on the
roster.
floor?
Yeah. I think that's so interesting.
I think he has 4 more years where he is at good NBA level. Role player, I mean, his health is great. He's been taking care of his body since probably middle school, high school. But I say when we start pushing it 5, 6 years, that's when we start seeing some like really inefficient, not really running the floor. You're 40 something years old, maybe just playing like 10 to 15 minutes a game. But if this dude plays like, I mean, it's crazy to say, but like father time, like if he plays 5 or 6 more years, could you imagine the total points? Like
Bro,
how
legit.
like how crazy that because he's gonna pass Kareem, halfway by the All-Star break this year. If he plays 5 years past that,
That's
that
an
scoring
unbreakable
record is gonna be
record.
untouchable.
Zion.
Zion.
But that's crazy, huh? I legit think he could play till he's like 52 and be like
52.
Be like LeBron could stand in the corner at 52.
Just hit threes, yeah.
Just do
Bro,
this.
imagine he chases
Come
somebody
on,
down. Well,
come on, young
MJ could,
fella.
yeah, MJ could dunk at like 60, right?
That's what I'm saying. If Vince Carter could play basketball till he's 40, Vince and LeBron are so far apart. Give LeBron 52.
Crazy. I would love to see it.
Speaking of 52, 50% of Warriors games are going to be on national television this year. There's a little fact for today.
Good thing there will probably always. No, that's gonna suck, bro. Well, it's okay. I know enough about the NBA where I'll be like able to follow my storylines. I'll be like, I know Curry had 41 last night, but his rim pressure was lacking, and he only shot 38%.
I love having an NBA podcast, but acting like you're Popovich now all of a sudden, Trevor, in the last 2 weeks, it's getting out of hand, man.
Popovich wishes he could be. I do my job better than Popovich could do my job.
You're not wrong, honestly.
He does his job. I do my job. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, before we get to the big meaty news that I definitely want to talk about, I don't want to be the guy that's slamming the WNBA, right? But I know you saw this on Twitter, where that girl made the all-rookie first team, and she averaged like 0.4 points. I'll get the stats. I got the stats.
Damn.
This is real. 0.4 points per game, 0.2 rebounds per game, 0.3 assists per game, 0.3 steals per game. And she was all rookie first team.
So she's not even like a great defender?
People were saying she's a great defender, but plays like 5 minutes a game.
I don't know like enough about it.
Stible's a great defender that plays like 5 minutes per game.
And he scores like 6 points a game, 5 points a game. 5.3,
no,
actually.
It's not. It's like 3, I think.
It's 5.3.
I'll bet on that. I think I'm closer.
Dude, if it's 5.3.
But no, like, do not want shit on the NBA, WNBA. I'm walking a thin line here.
It might be 5.7, but I think it's 5.3.
You Googled that.
No, my hands are right here. No.
Did he Google? Y'all gotta let me know if you're watching.
No.
It's 5.7. Because right when you said 5.7,
I knew it. It was either 5.7 or 5.3.
Bro, deadass, do you scroll Basketball Reference like that? What are you doing?
I really like the NBA. I will say that. I will say I really
like the NBA. That.
No, I'm
Fuck
serious.
That weird shit.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's, I don't know. A little crazy to me. Me personally, because like, as much as people, this is about to be wild. As much as people hate on men shitting on the WNBA, you put me in the WNBA, I'm averaging more than that.
Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. There was this hooper at FGCU I used to play with. Her name was Nasreen Ulel. Bro, she was a hoop. She hooped like a dude. She was a hooper. But
See, and I bet. But you gave her.
But there were
buckets, right?
also girls on that team that like I could get a bucket on. Like, you know.
Could you not get a bucket on her?
I don't know. She wasn't guarding me, but she could score on me. But also like defense. What the hell is defense? I don't give a shit.
When you play, we're getting into some dark territory here. But when you play pickup with like a girl, do you feel uncomfortable? I hate guarding.
I feel more comfortable. Try to take that shit to the post. You know what I'm saying? I don't even got any post moves.
No,
but
I'm saying when you're guarding.
Down.
Are you forcing her into the post? Is that what you're on? Is that what?
No, I don't think so.
I just make sure my hand checks are like within a certain like point, you know.
It's just basketball, man.
I know they wouldn't trip, but like if I grab a handful of titty on accident.
Like, did you see the Celebrity All-Star game where the guy was trying to do the high five on his free throw?
Did he have fiber?
Yeah, on her tat.
Cartoon ass shit. All right, I got one more thing. Moving on. Did you see the Rivals Week in the NBA?
No, that sounds sick. I saw the Christmas Day games.
Bro, fuck the Christmas Day games at this point. This Rivals Week thing is crazy. So from January 24th to 28th, they're gonna have a Rivals Week. So these games are played during that week.
Bucks.
Let me read it. My handwriting is nasty, so I gotta see. They got Lakers vs Celtics, Battle in New York, Nuggets Sixers, Raptors Warriors, Grizzlies Timberwolves, Mavs Suns, Bulls Hornets, Grizzlies Warriors, Nets Sixers, Battle at LA, and then Boston Miami.
That is Adam Silver.
That's hot.
That is sexy.
That's peak basketball right there.
And I get to watch. You said I get to watch Jokic versus Embiid, and then I get to watch Nets versus KD versus Embiid.
Yeah, I can't.
And we get a rematch of the Memphis Minnesota series with an older Anthony Edwards with Rudy on the team. Woo! Bro, imagine Jaws going up on Rudy.
I love how they just snuck the Bulls Hornets in here, though.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. What is that, Zach Levine versus LaMelo Ball? Like,
the fuck they gotta do with it? Oh, the Ball brothers. That's the Chino Hills game.
Oh, okay.
Oh, NBA, you did right. You did right.
Adam Silver.
Yeah,
clear my schedule for that week.
Bro, I legit might. That's gonna be, we should live stream every night and bet just thousands.
We should. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Wait, when is that?
The 24th through the 28th. Come to LA.
Bet. I don't have anybody. Never mind.
What happened?
I'll tell you off stream. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hurt. You know. It's not that I don't have any hoes. It's that no hoes have me. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't saying hoes. I thought you were staying with your homie out here. You know? I think you're staying with a good buddy out here.
Yeah, my good friend.
You my good pal. You know, I get you a hotel room.
I already know where I'm staying. I'm staying on I forget what it's called, but it's on I don't remember. So but it's right off of Hollywood Avenue.
You're gonna come out for sure?
I don't know about those dates, but I'm definitely coming back there for sure. Cali was if you've never been to LA, man, you gotta go to LA.
She'll be back.
Oh, they always come back.
They always do. When it's Trev Scott.
And I'm gonna player this shit. I'm gonna say I told you so.
Hey, that's a W take from Trevor on the pod right
there. When they get this python, you know what? Move on. Let's get into basketball, man.
Look, man, that's it for me, man. Again, make sure you guys check us out on YouTube, BLASports.com, the Discord. I'm streaming again, like I said earlier. Y'all remember. I try to do the mid plugs. I just don't know what to do. Oh, you know what we have plugged? Yeah, I gotta check out Barely Bets, man. We've been Greg's been killing it on there. Use our link. And then we also got shirts coming soon. Why are you laughing? Did I fuck it up?
No, that was right. I'll tell you in a minute.
Damn, you can.
But yeah, shirts is
from the viewers. That's it, man. The shirt's coming soon. They should have been in my house today, but we're gonna see.
And now joining us for our feature segment, we've got Alex Hoops, NBA Twitter, and his YouTube channel. Alex, we appreciate you coming on to join us tonight. Talk about your top 20 guards in the NBA. How's it going?
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. I'm doing well. Excited to get into it.
Now, is your YouTube Alex Hoops as well? I know that's your Twitter, but I want to give some love to the YouTube too.
Yeah, YouTube channel is Alex Hoops.
All right, cool. Yeah, so definitely go check them out there for some NBA content. Welcome to Really Hoops. Today, as we've said earlier, our feature segment is going to be the top 20 guards in the NBA. It's a list of mixed point guards, combo guards, shooting guards, all of that. So we're actually going to go down. We're going to start at 20. We're going to go down to number 1. Our first section we're going to do numbers 20 to 16. But if any of you have any honorable mentions, let's get those out of the way. I'll go first with my honorable mentions. We were just talking a little bit before this, and Ben Simmons didn't make my list because it's hard to, didn't really play, and then is he a point guard? Is he But he kind of just slipped my mind, so that's the reason why he didn't make my list. But shout out to Ben Simmons. A couple guys that were fringe that didn't make my list: Tyler Hero, DJ McCollum, Russell Westbrook, not on my list, but honorable mentions to those guys. How about you guys? Any honorable mentions?
I'll let you go, Alex.
Yeah, you said one of my honorable mentions, Tyler Hero. Definitely wanted to shout him out. Tyrese Maxey as well. He kind of missed the cut for me. And then Jordan Poole, I kind of bounced around with him and another guy, and it got really tough for me to trim it down to who I wanted. But Jordan Poole ended up being an honorable mention. He was literally probably around 21 or 22 to me. So it was tough to leave him off. And then Gary Trent Jr. as well is another honorable mention.
Right.
He was pretty far out of the top 20, but I did want to shout him out.
Right. Sounds good.
What
about you, Doris?
I really wanted to put Westbrook somewhere on this list. And I was fighting with myself to keep him on, and then he just ended up being the 25th player. So shout out Russ. Shout out to LaMelo Ball, who just missed my cutoff. I am projecting a little bit with some of these guys into next year. So some of them you guys might be questioning, but I'm gonna do what I do. I'll argue about it, whatever. But yeah, LaMelo Ball just barely missed my list. DeJounte missed my list, and there's other names, but yeah.
I could already tell it's gonna be a good episode because you already pissed me off twice. So
I don't think, honestly, looking at it, even if you disagree with me, I think there's arguments for these guys that are above.
Okay.
Clear arguments.
As long as there's an argument, I'll respect it no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That's respect, bro.
All right. Well, Alex, you're our guest. Why don't you kick us off? Go with number 20 to number 16.
Oh gosh. Okay. 20 through 16 ended up being, and I'll say I kind of did more of a tier type deal.
Okay.
I have a rough order, but also for certain groups of guys, for me, 20 through 15 is kind of like a tier of their own. So, don't get too hung up on the order. I had Anthony Edwards, DeJounte Murray, Desmond Bane, LaMelo Ball, and then Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet was another guy who just kind of missed out on my list. He was around the 23, 24 range, but didn't mention him in my honorable mentions because I don't like the Raptors. But yeah, okay. Freddie's a good guy. Great 3-and-D player. You can run some offense. Yeah. No Raptors love for no reason. I'm not doing that.
And the reason I want to say that the order for me was kind of arbitrary with these guys was because Fred VanVleet had amazing numbers this year relative to his typical output, but it was also a situation where his minutes were absurd. He was getting put into the ground, and his usage was absurdly high, especially early on in the season when they didn't have Pascal, and they were literally running everything through Fred VanVleet. So LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, DeJounte Murray, you might be able to put some of those guys over him, maybe. I see arguments for any of these guys in any number of spots. It's all just kind of it was really tough with some of these lower ranked guys because you're just splitting hairs because the differences are so small at that point. Like you're deciding like, oh, who's a better like, corner 3-point shooter, or who has less turnovers or something like that. It's just so many small things at that point that you're trying to find something to give somebody the edge. So it got real difficult for me.
That's true. Yeah.
Respectable list. I got one of those guys a little bit higher, but I think everyone else you said minus Fred VanVleet was in that same range for me. So I'll agree with you there.
I think I'm with you. I think we both have the same guy a little higher. Off the top of my head. But yeah, I know what player's not on your guys' list now, and I'm excited to talk about him. But again, I do agree, like having like players like 1 or 2 spots off, like there's no reason for me to be mad at it. Now someone had like Trae Young down here, for example.
Relax, bro.
Then
that'd be awful.
Yeah. But yeah, the same tier thing. I agree with you. I'll do mine next. So I had LaMelo Ball at number 20. Or sorry, not LaMelo Ball.
I thought you said.
Yeah. I had Melo higher than Jalen Brown, but like looking at my list, I switched it. I caught an audible, so I got Jalen Brown at 20. I got Drew Holiday at number 19. And again, I am projecting a little bit. I got Garland, at 18, and then I got Ben Simmons at 17.
What about 16?
16, I got Cade. I think Cade's due for a big year this year.
Jeez, yeah, I didn't put Cade on my list.
Yeah, I definitely, I think I probably looked at mine a little bit differently. I looked at like literally just this year. So
okay.
For anyone listening, when you hear my list, know that this is not like future projections or previous seasons taken into account. It was literally for me just 21 through 22.
And that's kind of what I figured when you said when we were talking about Ben Simmons before we recorded the show. But I think Ben Simmons is definitely going to be. I could see him being higher than 17. Like I could see him pushing back into that top 10 like guards this year, just like off of sheer like the questions with Kyrie and KD. It's going to be a Ben Simmons team.
Or you got to talk to me a little bit about Jalen Brown at number 20, because I have him.
One I had a little higher.
I have him much higher up my list.
Okay, well, who do you hate the most that I have over him?
Can you read it? You have Cade over him?
Yeah,
I got Cade over him.
That was one I was kind of a little iffy on, just because his efficiency was really, really rough this year.
I just think, as a Jalen Brown guy, I'm a Jalen Brown guy. We've talked about it on the pod before.
I don't know if you can call yourself a Jalen Brown guy.
He's kind of like, if we're talking about top 20 guards, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to put a player high in the top 20 guards that can't dribble the basketball.
I knew you were going to say that.
You knew it was coming. So, I mean, like, if you're struggling to dribble, I'm taking Cade. I'm taking Ben Simmons. I'm taking Garland. I'm taking Drew. And I almost took Melo Ball once again. But I do think Jalen Brown is a bucket. He's an elite player for sure.
Elite defense, too.
Definitely had a great season. But the Celtics also do make things really easy for Jalen Brown. Like, if a player like Garland was on that team, then we'd look at Garland crazy. And people already look at Garland a type of way. But if he had the offense and defense that the Celtics had around him, then, I mean, I don't know. I just think it makes things a lot easier. I wanted to put Marcus Smart on my list, too, but I just couldn't sneak him in there.
Yeah, Mr. 12 points per game.
I actually listed 19 through 15. 20 for me was actually Marcus Smart. I forgot him.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you cracking on right now?
No, I could tell because you have Jalen Brown at 20. I could tell I need to drink a little bit for this.
You heard Marcus Smart's name and whipped out the drink? Is that what's going on?
No, too much Celtic stuff, but also I have Jalen Brown. Like, you're going to be very surprised where I have Jalen Brown. 20 is just extremely interesting to me, but I'll go my 20 through 16. I got Desmond Bane at number 20. I got De'Aaron Fox at number 19. I got LaMelo Ball at 18. Drew Holiday at 17. And DeJounte Murray at 16.
Alex, do you have De'Aaron on your list?
I do not. I'm I'm probably a bit lower on people on De'Aaron Fox than a lot of people are. To be
Yeah, it's crazy that you have Fox. I know you have Fox high, and having him over Jalen Brown. We're gonna have to put this into a graphic. We're gonna have to let the Twitter crowd come after you.
I'm just saying, I am projecting, and the Kings are gonna make the playoffs this year. They're gonna be led by De'Aaron. Jalen Brown couldn't do the same thing.
Okay, if you just skip this part, go back to the beginning of the episode and listen to the team that Dort said was gonna make the playoffs last year, and then come back.
I'm a Kings guy, big sack town. Yeah, well, we're gonna get to De'Aaron, but I don't like Desmond Bane that much on these lists, if I'm being honest.
Why?
What specifically about him?
Tell me the players you guys got under him.
Well, he's my 20, so my honorable mentions: Tyler Hero, Van Vliet, Russ, Tyrese Maxey, guys like that. I just think are just right underneath him.
Is Drew on your list?
Yeah, Drew is 17.
Okay, never mind. I'm not that mad at him at 20, if I'm being honest. Who would you have over him, Alex?
He was in the 20 to 15 range. So I mean, the other guys in that range for me were DeJounte Murray, Anthony Edwards, Marcus Smart, LaMelo Ball, Fred VanVleet, and then Drew Holiday was the 15th one that I messed up the order on.
I think Bane could grow into.
Actually, I'm not mad at it.
I think Bane could grow into like a Drew Holiday role. He just needs to, Drew's obviously much more efficient, a better passer, a better playmaker, and he plays with Giannis.
Desmond Bane is ridiculously efficient. I'm pretty sure he's like a vastly better 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
he is. Volume, and I mean he's like the perfect role player too. He like any team would murder somebody to have Desmond Bane on their team right now.
Whoa, yeah,
murder.
Just not Dort.
44% from 3 on 7 attempts per game is like
that's excellent. He's a great 3-point shooter,
and he's a very good defender as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you guys this before we get into this next little section. Did you guys have Jalen Brunson on your list?
Shit,
he was outside the top 20.
No, I forgot about him. Yeah, but I'd probably give him an honorable mention too.
Isn't it crazy that the Knicks paid that much money for a not top 20 guard?
What was it, $104, $107 or $1 million?
It was a bad. Like I like Brunson, but she's like I was looking at it. I had him at like 27, and they did all that to get him. They moved mountains around, hired his dad just to get. I don't know. Let's move on. Trevor, hit us with the next section of your list.
15 through 11. Number 15, I got Zach Levine. Number 14, I got Darius Garland. 13, Anthony Edwards. 12, I got Shea. And 11, I got James Harden.
I think you forgot someone, and I hope Alex says him in his next section because I definitely think you forgot someone. Unless you think he's top 10, and I don't think you do.
I think Alex, everybody in my top 10 is pretty standard top 10, but I might have forgotten someone. I don't think so.
Hold on, say yours again.
15, Zach Levine. 14, Darius Garland. 13, Anthony Edwards. 12, Shea. And 11, James Harden.
Are you with me, Alex? Do you think you forgot someone?
I can't think of who it would be right now, just off the top of my head.
All right, give me yours, and then I'm curious to see. Unless you guys have them top 10.
So I had Drew Holiday at 15. And again, order is kind of arbitrary here. Drew Holiday at 15, Zach Levine, Jalen Brown, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and then how many was this? Five players?
Yeah, go 15 through 11. So yeah, the next 5.
So Donovan Mitchell. So those were the 5 for the kind of 10 through 15 tier.
Okay.
Did you?
Are we still forgetting somebody?
5? You guys are. I think so. Okay.
I did have Shea in that.
I said Shea. I said Shea at number 12. Shevonte.
I got Shea in this 5 too, but my 15 is Bradley Beal.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean,
yeah, he didn't make my list because he didn't play, but Dame made my list. But yeah, Beal just slipped my mind. But yeah, he's definitely top 20.
Okay. No
Yeah,
Beal, Alex.
I
Anything?
kind of knocked Beal for the amount of games that he missed, and then his 3-point shooting was horrible this year, which is like that's his bread and butter. And
Yeah.
so, like if he's not hitting threes, then you know that's a
All
pretty
right.
hefty knock. His playmaking was
Fair.
really good this year. I will give him that.
I mean, I feel like the name Bradley Beal should get you in the top 20 alone. And I just think
Oh yeah, I don't really,
he-
I don't really ever like. I don't put too much stock in the name because like I was just going off this year's production. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like his leadership definitely took a step up this year, like being the guy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
With
I actually like the Wizards a lot. I'm really high on them heading
I do
into next
too.
year.
You like Kyle Kuzma?
I do like Kyle Kuzma. I did.
Welcome to
like
Barely
Kyle
Hoops.
Kuzma.
Welcome to Really Hoops, the Kyle Kuzma show.
this is the Dort show, buddy. Don't get it twisted. At 14, I got Lou Dort. No,
Whoa, are you serious?
I'm playing.
Bro.
I'm playing. At 14, I got Zach Levine. 13, I got Anthony Edwards. 12, I got De'Aaron Fox. And 11, I got Shea. That's valid?
That's pretty valid. I mean, Fox is kind of high to me. I think a lot of those stats are empty. I mean, he scores 23 and like, you know,
Once
just
they got rid of Tyrese, he averaged 27.
what was that, like 20 games?
Like 30.
But yeah, it's gonna open up with Sabonis. It's gonna be a good pick and roll. He's a good diver to the bucket, so
Any
help them out a lot more.
nitpicking, Alex? Anything you don't like?
No, I mean, there's arguments about the order that you could probably make, but again, I'm not like huge on the order, so it's like
read it again.
splitting hairs.
Bradley Beal at 15, Levine at 14, Anthony Edwards at 13, De'Aaron Fox at 12, SGA at 11.
That's not bad. I'm surprised you didn't have Levine higher. You usually ride him pretty heavy.
You could argue him and Edwards, but I think like once you hit Fox's playmaking separates him from a lot of the guys under him. And then Shea, obviously. You know, I had to put Shea just outside the top 10. Anything higher than top 10 would have been like clear bias, and I just
He played 35 games last year, just saying. But I have him 12, so I don't even have him.
Yeah, why are you hating if you got him a spot under me?
I just had to hate a little bit. It's
early.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's do our top 10s by 2. So we'll do number 10 and 9. I'm going to ruffle some feathers here with my number 10 and 9. Dory, you're not going to like this, but I have Chris Paul as number 10 and Jalen Brown as number 9.
That's high for Jalen Brown.
Yeah, I mean, I liked what I saw in the playoffs. I mean, he's an excellent defender, great slasher. And you know, he was the best offensive player in the finals for the Celtics. Obviously, Tatum's a much better playmaker. But yeah, Chris Paul, number 10. If Harden would have scored more and been more efficient, Chris Paul would have fell out of my top 10. So that's my number 10 and 9. Chris Paul, Jalen Brown.
Alex, I'll give you the floor.
No, you go ahead. You go first. I want to hear yours before I.
Okay, well, my number 10 is also Chris Paul.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as a Chris Paul guy, you know, I did lean hard into this next year stuff. I had to put him at 10. I mean, I think these guys are gonna be better than him. And then also my number 9 is his teammate Devin Booker. Both of them definitely.
First team, Devin Booker.
No, don't do that. No. Ninth best guard in the league, Devin Booker. That's not even third team. Devin Booker would be my number 9. Yeah, that's kind of interesting to look at. Like, take a second and look at your list and think, like, could you see this being the All-NBA team guards? And honestly, mine looks hot when I look at it like that.
Yeah, my top 5 is sexy. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. For sure.
Right.
Alex, you got Chris Paul number 10 too? Are we clean sleeping this or what?
I actually have Chris Paul at 9.
Okay.
But again, order is kind of whatever. But at 10, I had, and granted, I want to include the caveat that I'm taking into account the fact that he played literally 29 games. Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
That's fair.
I'm not mad at it. You gave the reason. Definitely not mad at it. I definitely have him higher, but
I also was thinking like how much drama he caused. Like that
Cause
I
is
understand like
Or like,
on-court production is one thing, but when it comes to like basically torpedoing a team like kind of into the ground, that's got to count for something.
I got a lot of love for Kyrie. You'll never hear me say a foul thing about Kyrie Irving.
if you weren't doing it like off of just straight like last season, like if you're just talking about straight basketball like skill set, like who you're taking and you're picking a guard to play 5v5, how high do you think Kyrie goes up, or do you drop him?
He probably moves up to like if you're getting a full season of Kyrie without any of the drama, he's probably top 5 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's a good answer.
good answer. I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna kick it off, bro. I'm gonna kick off this next section, man.
8 and 7.
Yeah, we're about to fight, so just be ready. Viewers at home, plug your ears. I don't want you guys to hear this. At number 7, I got Donovan Mitchell.
Wait, what about number 8?
At number 8, I got Trae Young.
Dort. Dort.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Dort. You don't believe that.
I
do.
Some reasoning.
You don't believe that.
Listen, when you're as good as an offensive player as Trae Young, like you got to take it into account. You're the worst player on defense in the league. DeJounte's going to help him, but his offensive stats won't look as good this year.
Yes, they will.
No, they won't, because he's playing with another guard that's going to take the ball out of his hands. And I'm projecting it next year.
Splash.
But DeJounte's not a shooter.
He
can shoot.
He's like top 3 playmakers in the
Exactly.
league.
I said that last week.
The worst defender.
He's also one of the best mid-range shooters in the league. He's one of the best finishing guards.
That's what I'm saying, and that's half the game. That's half the game. We're splitting it into the other half. Defense, he's a 0, and he doesn't move without the ball. So it's
but like offense is honestly more important in today's NBA than it was like.
See, I don't think so. We just saw a guard win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, but
you
that
don't.
Was like a very
Rudy.
That was a very media-driven campaign. Like,
Facts. That was Rudy's award. That was Rudy's award.
Stop it.
I mean,
they got voter fatigue.
Marcus Smart was the best defender in basketball this year. Other than
Curry
Giannis.
gave him 40.
Other than Giannis.
Bro, Trae at 8, like, I should call somebody. Like,
call him.
Either like
call him up.
Mental hospital or like the police or something.
Call him up. And I'm not even going to sit here and act like I got, like, every player above him's an elite defender. But it's just like Trae Young's defense is terrible. Like Trae Young could.
Anyone will argue with that, but
I know
it's like the offense.
His offense is close to perfect.
At a certain point, like once your offense reaches a certain level, it's like you can ignore the defensive concerns. Like obviously you want.
And I know you got
better defender, but
yep. And I know you got Steph Curry at number 1.
Hey,
he's a good defender. Fuck off.
I guess whatever. I never say Steph's a good defender, but we're gonna have to see, man. I just think Trae Young, it's like impossible to hide. Doesn't move without the ball. With the ball, Trae Young might be the best player with the ball in basketball, but without the ball and on defense, he's a 0.
8 is crazy. I hope we get a graphic for this, and I hope you're logged into. I hope you're off your Twitter ban by then. So then you can fight people again. You can try to stick up for yourself because I will not be sticking up for you. Trae Young.
I better screen record the clips, man, and Door Army will ride for me once again.
I was listening to some old shows, and like very beginning of this calendar year, even one of our shows from last year, and we only had 2 shows from last year. Dude, I talk about Trae Young so much.
So annoying.
Do you get tired of it?
You get mad at me for hating it. You get mad at me for hating on it. It's your fault.
I was just listening to episodes I just bring up Trae Young out of like thin air. We're talking about Lakers Clippers. I'm like, yeah, neither team with a great point. Like, could you imagine Trae Young? Like, dude's always on my mind. I don't know what it is. All right.
That's my Trae Young case.
8 and 7.
I know y'all can hate it. It's fine. But
everyone's going to hate it.
Standing on it.
And Philly Dame is going to hate it.
They do what they want. I do what I can.
All right. Let me give my 8 and 7. My number 8 is Donovan Mitchell, and my number 7 is Dame Dollar. So
I love the Donovan Mitchell love, bro.
He's a bucket. I mean, he's a bucket. Like people forget. He's not a good defender. I mean, he's not a great playmaker yet. I think he'll eventually blossom into an average playmaker, an average passer. especially with a different center. Who knows who the center is going to be next year? But a pure bucket. He could score at all three levels. He's athletic. He can run the floor. We're going to see some 50 balls from him this year, and they're probably going to have a lottery pick. But number 8, Spida. Number 7, Dame Dollar. Who do you got, Alex? 8 and 7.
8 and 7. I had James Harden and Devin Booker.
Okay.
I love that too. I love James Harden being high.
Yeah, I mean, I understand like the shooting problems and all of that. Like that's totally fair, but at the same time, like there's not really many guys you can put over him in terms of playmaking. Like he's just ridiculous. So
and he's getting a full off season with that team now. He's getting a full off season with Embiid, with the coaching staff. I expect the shooting to be better next year, more consistent next year. And he's a top tier playmaker. I mean, he averaged over 10 assists in Brooklyn, over 10 assists in Philly. I mean, the ball in his hands, he's going to make the right decision. So I got him at 11 because of the shooting woes, but he could be top 10. I'm not mad at it.
I just want to make this clear for the people at home too. If I was doing this tiers wise, I would say 9 through 4 are in the same tier, so it's pretty close.
That's roughly how it is for me. I think 3 through 8 or 9 is their own tier for me.
You know what, Dort? Your number 3 is not a good defender either, and he's not a better offensive player than Trey.
No, you don't know my number 3. You're talking about my number 4. You don't. I would bet money on it again. We could bet Chipotle on that. You don't know my number 3.
No, because we both know who we're talking about.
I do, and he's in the same tier. I would give him that.
All right. Give us 6 and 5.
My 6 is Kyrie Irving, and my 5 is Dame Dollar. People forgot about Dame, bro.
Damn.
They forgot about
top
Dame.
5?
They forgot about Dame. Dame.
What did they forget?
Like, listen, the bad teams Dame has been on, when Dame is healthy, they're consistently a top 5 seed in the West, and that's tough to do, especially with the help Dame has. Yeah, Dame's a winner. I mean, I'm projecting a little bit into next season because, like, if you're basing it just off last year, it's hard to have Dame even in the top 20. But
it's really fun.
We know
watching
what Dame
those,
does when he's healthy.
Those Dame versus Curry games too. But
Facts.
in top 5, I actually originally had him at 8, but then I didn't have him on my list, and then I had to add him in and then move everybody down. But top 5, how interesting. All right, Alex, 6 and 5. Who do we got?
I know this one's going to ruffle a lot of feathers, and I have plenty of justification for it. Darius Garland and Ja Morant. Oh, wait, no. Devin Booker and Darius Garland, sorry.
Holy fuck. Darius Garland, number 5?
No, wait, hold on. I got my order mixed up. What numbers?
Yeah, I was going to say. You said Devin Booker last time, so it would be, I think, Darius and Ja.
It's 6 and 5.
And then we're going to do 4, 3, 2, 1 all by themselves.
Hold on. Let me do my count real quick.
Okay.
Count them up. Garland, God.
Yes, sneak peek. I'll go ahead and do mine. Mine are much less.
No. Don't. I don't want to skip.
No, just keep the tension up.
Keep the I do not.
We need to have some intense music playing right here.
I've been hearing a lot of Garland talk lately, and I am a fan of Garland's game. But if you're not projecting, that's hard. That's hard for me, Alex.
I messed up my order. So it was actually Donovan Mitchell and Kyrie Irving as 8 and 9, and then Chris Paul and James Harden were 6 and 7, and then Devin Booker and Darius Garland were 4 and 5, right? No, 5 and 6. Sorry.
Which one's Darius Garland?
He is 5.
Holy fuck!
And I got justification for it.
I'm gonna need.
All right, I mean, he puts good pressure on the rim. He scores.
He's a fantastic mid-range shooter. There are very few better playmakers in the NBA than him. He was absolutely fantastic passing the ball this year. His pull-up three-point shooting is among literally the best. He's like the 3rd best pull-up three-point shooter in the NBA. He shot like 40% from on pull-up threes, and of like all the guys who shot over like 3.5 pull-up threes, he had the 3rd best efficiency. So I mean, he's just a ridiculous perimeter scorer. He can get to the rim. He can shoot mid ranges, and he's one of the best playmakers in the NBA. And
he's a good playmaker. 8.5 assists this past year. I really could not have seen that coming. I thought we all had already said Garland. I said Garland 14. Dort, I think you said him your late teens.
I said him 19 or 18.
18. Okay, so we saw 21, almost 22 points a game on 46%, a little over 3 rebounds and almost 9 assists this year. I know stats don't tell the whole story, but what are you expecting his stats to look like this year as a top 5 guard in the NBA?
Oh, he's going to be. I'm pretty confident he's going to be 25 points per game and probably 10 assists. Given that Mobley's going to probably take a jump scoring wise, and that's going to help with Garland's assist numbers. Jared Allen will continue to develop, and they're like one of the most lethal pick and roll threats in the entire league. They potentially have Colin Sexton coming back. We'll see how that plays out.
I hope he gets a shot with that team.
Yeah,
I do too.
And then the scoring. I mean, he was already so good this year from the mid range and from 3, and I fully anticipate that's going to continue to grow, and he's going to become arguably one of the best 3-point creators in the league while offering elite playmaking. I mean, it's really hard to not buy into what he's going to be doing.
So top 5, are you is he all NBA second team, third team? Are you definitely putting him on an all NBA team this year?
Next year or like this past year?
This upcoming year.
I think he'll definitely be in the conversation.
Wow,
it's hard to imagine he's not.
Yeah, you want to bet on it?
I mean, I would probably throw a couple bucks on it. I'm not too much of a betting man, but yeah, I'm pretty confident
gonna be like
he's gonna be an all NBA
10-month bet.
We have what's our bet? We got like a 3-year bet going on. That Kuzma won't be an all-star in the next like 3 years.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and argue because I know the advanced stats do say great things about Garland. I'm not the biggest.
I don't really look at much advanced stats honestly, but like just the film of Garland is crazy. Like the dude is
he's crafty for sure.
I think he's good, but I wouldn't say he's top 5 good. But in the realm of tiers,
but like who did you have like? So he was where he was where for you guys?
So I had Ben Simmons and Cade over him going into next year.
So you had Cade Cunningham over him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But that's projecting insane. Hard because I think Cade's up for a big year. But fine.
Yeah, but
fine.
like second year leaps are pretty uncommon. Like normally the 3rd year leap is when guys start to really show like what they're capable of, and the second.
But we're talking about Cade. This isn't like.
Yeah, but even still,
like the number one guy.
Take a little while. Like just like not all number 1 picks are created the same. Like they're a number 1 pick 1 year could be like X amount of good, and then a number 1 pick another year could be Y amount of good. It's just it varies.
I'm saying they gave Cade better tools for this team, and I'm not gonna I feel like with the stats last year, you could argue all types of things for Garland over Cade, but when you look at what Cade does on the basketball court, you put a Jalen Duren next to him. You get another year of Sadiq Bey, who's gonna be a shooter. Ivy's gonna relieve pressure on him. Like they've given him a lot to be in his best back this year.
Yeah, but I just don't see like Darius Garland's creation, like his creation ability, particularly like the way he goes about creating a shot. Like he generates a lot more space on things like step backs. He's a lot more shifty than Cade. Cade kind of plays a different brand of basketball, and it's not that it's not that Cade's not going to be a good scorer. It's just that Darius Garland's creation ability is kind of,
and that's kind of what I was going to say. I feel like Cade doesn't need the space or the craftiness. Cade's just.
I think,
but he's not like the shot making. Like it's tough to see an avenue where Cade Cunningham like next year is as good of a shot maker as Darius Garland.
What do you think if you were to project like Cade's points per game range? Where would you put it?
Probably right around 20. But my question to you is: do you really see Cade Cunningham being a 40% pull-up 3-point shooter this year after he shot 31% from 3 this past season? Like that's a massive, massive jump to take.
I wouldn't say all that. I don't think he needs all that because I think he has better spacing around him this next year. I mean, when you look at like an actual lob threat on the team, Isaiah Stewart's not that. Jeremy Grant used to be that, but you're just giving Cade the ball in his hands and letting him do what he does with all these dudes around him. I think it's going to be a fun year for Cade. But like Beal, I would clear Garland, I think.
Wow, that's just like wild to me. That's insane.
You want to talk about space creation when Beal averaged 30 a couple years ago. I mean, and he still has that in him. You know?
Yeah, I mean, he averaged 30, but like the efficiency difference is pretty massive.
He was kind of just out there hooping too. That team sucked.
But that's because he needed to. That's because the thing I do like about Garland is making the two bigs work. Like I think he is the perfect fit for what that team needed. But I
like Beal's floor vision is not even close to Garland's. Like Garland is a vastly better playmaker. Like it's not particularly.
But close. I don't even I wouldn't say Beal needed. Like who's Beal gonna pass it to on that team? Raul Neto.
Yeah, I mean Darius Garland was playing next to Jetty Osman, and
he's bad.
But I'm saying Raul Neto was the second best player with the ball on that team. Like when you look at the Cavs, you still got there's another all-star on that team.
And you got Brandon Goodwin.
Be good in front of the pod.
Yeah, but I'm like, are we ranking these guys or are we ranking the players that are around them?
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can't like crack someone for their floor vision when they don't have anyone on the floor.
Where do you have
Garland? Crack them for efficiency, and
I agree with you.
30% 3-point shooter.
I agree with you.
Shot better from all areas of the floor.
I agree with you that Garland's a better playmaker. That's not an argument.
Well, he's a better shooter too.
When Beal's playing triple teamed and Garland has a free court with two big men he could just throw lobs to.
Yeah, but just because he has people he can throw lobs to doesn't mean that he's not creating his own shot. Like, look at the scoring.
I never said he can't create his own shot. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying
so then what does Beal have over him? Like, do you really think that Bradley Beal would be as good of a playmaker as Darius Garland on those Cavs teams?
I'm not saying. I never said that. I'm never said anything about playmaking.
Well, you're talking about the players that are around them. So if you put Bradley Beal on the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, do you think that Bradley Beal is going to be as good of a playmaker as Darius Garland?
Not playmaker, but Beal's not getting triple teamed on the Cavs.
Okay, but Darius Garland was the only shot creator on that team. So even still, if you're talking about like how players are getting guarded and stuff, like. Yeah, they got to have a man on Jarrett Allen. They got to have a man on Evan Mobley. But Darius Garland is the one who's creating his own shot, and that's often through double teams. And
Garland's the perfect fit for the Cavs. That it's not about the Cavs. You think if you put Garland on the Wizards, like he could be as efficient as he wants. He's averaging 18 because he's getting double teamed.
He was getting double teamed this year.
Not at the rate.
Where would you put Garland as far as a playmaker? A top what
playmaker? Garland's a top tier playmaker.
Okay. I have him top 6 or 7, but okay.
I would say he's
I couldn't gauge that from everything you were saying. I couldn't get where you kind of thought of him as a playmaker.
The playmaking is not the thing for me. I think Garland's a great playmaker.
Mm-hmm.
But
you just think Beal's volume is so much greater than Garland's volume if they were forced to score.
My question is, if Darius Garland is a better playmaker, and you agree with that, correct? You agree that Darius Garland is a better playmaker. And Darius Garland was vastly more efficient than Bradley Beal this year. Then what does Bradley Beal do better than Darius Garland to have Bradley Beal over Darius Garland?
Bradley Beal's a better scorer. Darius
Garland is literally a better scorer this year. I don't know how to explain.
How many players have averaged 30 in NBA history?
We should probably move on because I don't think we're gonna agree.
I don't think so either. But that's my case. That y'all let us know at home. Tweet us. Tweet at us. Send it in the Discord. What y'all think? But that's a good ball. That's an interesting discussion.
The Garland versus Beal. Yeah, that's one that's probably hasn't.
Yeah, I mean,
where are we even at? Was 6 and 5?
We're at 4.
Okay, so we're at 4. Everybody did their 6 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the next 4. I mean, I got one player in there that's a little different, but I think we should be around the same page on the next 4.
Yeah, if you don't have Trae Young in your top 4, I have no idea who. Whoa. That's crazy. I know who you have in your top 4. Wow, you're like Zach at football.
How?
No,
How is that? I need you to explain it when we get there.
I know who you have at number 4. All right, your number 4 is Ja Morant.
My number 4 is Ja Morant.
Okay, my number 4 is Ja Morant. Alex, your number 4?
My number 4 is also Ja Morant.
Dorian, your number 3 is James Harden?
My number 3 is James Harden.
Holy shit.
I'm not giving up on Harden.
Holy shit. I like it because I'm a Philly fan. But damn,
I'm not giving up on
Harden.
Harden.
I know you were projecting, so I can live with that since I know you were like projecting into next year and kind of taking like past into account. So that's, you know what, that's fair. I don't have too much of an issue with that really.
I
see the argument.
I like
project because I want to as a Philly fan, I want to hear the projections. Let's hear it.
See,
top 3 guard in the league. I love it.
I've been hearing a lot of the Harden dark horse MVP talk, and I'm not going that far.
Damn, I have it.
But I think when you look at Harden, like we said about Garland, Harden is in that elite tier playmaker. Harden's proven to be one of the best scorers in basketball when he's 100%. I feel like we've been missing that the last 2 years of basketball. And a year to figure it out with Embiid, like a real big. Harden's other best big he's played with is probably Capella. So, I mean, this is some good basketball to watch. I'm going to watch a lot of Philly games this year. I don't know. I know they dropped their TV schedule and all that. I don't know how many games Philly's on TV, but that league pass is going to be hitting.
Yeah. No, Philly, yeah. I love that. That's crazy. So you have Ja 4, Harden 3. Alex, who you got at number 3?
I got Trae Young.
Okay, fair. I got Trae Young at 3 as well. Hard to keep him out of my top 2. I got him out All NBA first team next year, but third best guard in the league, complete on offense.
You got him All NBA first team, but third best guard in the league.
Yeah, best doesn't mean they're gonna be first team. You know what I'm saying?
So you're about to do it.
Yeah,
who's your number 2?
At number 2, I got Steph Curry's brother. So. But, he's going to have some coasting, some regular season coasting. He knows what it takes to win the finals, to go deep in the playoffs. He's not going to put up the crazy numbers. He'll have his streaks here and there. He'll be hot, but he'll also be extremely cold at some points, like we saw last year. But he turned it on at the right time and got carried by Andrew Wiggins, and they won the finals. So.
Stop doing that, bro.
Yes, I got
Curry 2 or Curry 1?
I got Curry at 2.
Yes, sir. No.
No clean sweep. Sorry. You got Curry fans, we had to do it. We had to ride out. Curry Nation, man. Once you win the championship, it's hard to argue that you're not the best at your position.
All right. Well, me and Alex have Luka at 1. Is that right, Alex?
Yeah.
Luka.
No, actually, I didn't have Luka at 1. Just kidding. I did.
Crazy.
Yeah, Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal.
No, Luka is offense, man. Luka is offense. Luka is basketball. There's nothing he can't do. He will walk the ball up 5 times in a row and score on you 5 different times, 5 different ways.
He's like me.
Luka's a real one. So I'm gonna read my list 1 through 20. You guys can follow afterwards. 1, I got Luka. 2, I got Steph Curry's brother. 3, I got Ice Trae Young. 4, I got Ja Morant. 5, Kyrie. 6, first team Devin Booker. 7, Dame Dollar. 8, Spider. 9, Jalen Brown. 10, Chris Paul. 11, top 3, James Harden. 12, SGA. 13, Anthony Edwards. 14, top 5, Darius Garland. 15, Zach Levine. 16, DeJounte Murray. 17, Drew Holiday. 18, Chino Hills, LaMelo Ball. 19, Swiper the Fox. And 20, Desi Bane.
Trevor, you're bogus, bro.
Why?
Every time we do a list like this, you always try to make the safest list. Like, I want you to.
It's not a safe list. I believe this. This is what I believe.
This is because when we first started doing this podcast, I was clearing you on Twitter. I mean, when we put the list out, Dort's in first place.
I don't think you ever beat me before.
Now you try to be all safe so you could win, get a couple wins on me, man. Fuck that lame shit, bro.
This is a great list.
We haven't argued. Every time we have a guest on, I always argue with the guest because, like, how the fuck do I argue with your basic ass lame list? Come on.
Okay, well, at least I don't have Trae Young at number 8. Like,
But that's what I believe, and you know that's what I believe.
Sport.
You know that's what I believe.
This is what I believe. I got a nice piece of paper right here that I believe. Everything looks good. Alex, who you got? You're from starting from the top.
Also, I'll do the order, but I'll also list the tiers that I had. I had 4 separate tiers. So tier 1 was Luka and Steph. Tier 2 was Trey, Ja, Garland, Devin Booker, James Harden, Chris Paul, and Kyrie. Tier 3 was Donovan Mitchell, SGA, Jalen Brown, Zach Levine, and Drew Holiday. Tier 4 was Fred VanVleet, LaMelo Ball, Desmond Bane, Anthony Edwards, DeJounte Murray, and Marcus Smart. And again, the order for like tiers 4 through the first half of tier 2 is kind of, I don't really care about the order that much because it was splitting hairs.
I guarantee viewers saw this episode title with the guards. Not one of them thought they would get a Bradley Beal versus Darius Garland debate. So can we just get a round of applause for just the most unexpected argument ever in probably sports podcasting history?
Yeah, that's like just completely out of left field. I did not expect that at all.
We just created new discourse.
Those are the 2 most random players in history, But if I were to do it like tiers, I don't know if y'all peeped it, but I did say when we were talking about the tiers that my 4 through like 9 are in the same tier. I legit think Harden's going to be in that elite tier of guards this year with Curry and Luka. So my 1, 2, 3 is Curry, Luka, Harden. At 4, I got Ja. 5, I got Dame. 6, I got Kyrie. 7, Donovan Mitchell. 8, Trae Young. 9, Devin Booker. I feel like we didn't say anything about Devin Booker. But shout out Devin Booker. First team. 10, Chris Paul. 11, SGA. 12, De'Aaron Fox. 13, Ant. 14, Zach Levine. 15, my boy Bradley Beal. Real deal Beal. 16, Cade. 17, Ben Simmons. 18, Garland. 19, Drew. 20, 20, Jalen Brown.
You said 20 was LaMelo Ball like 4 times already on the show.
Because it's on my list. Like that's how it looks on my list. I gotta call the audible every time.
Got you.
All right.
Yeah, well, that's gonna wrap it up for here, Alex. We appreciate you coming on again. Follow him on Twitter at Alex Hoops. This was a fun one. Our top 20 guards in the NBA. Alex, anything you want to say to the listeners? Anything you want to plug before you hop off?
Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys having me on. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm dropping videos over there a couple times a week, so go check that out. And yeah, thanks again for having me on, guys.
And that YouTube, guys, is gonna be in the link in the description. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, whatever. If you're too lazy to type in Alex Hoops on YouTube for whatever reason, you could go on our YouTube and click that link in the description. Thank you, Alex.
Alex, one last thing. Can you say it's the year of the beer?
Say that again? Sorry.
Can you say it's the year of the beer?
It's the year of the beer, baby.
Excellent. All right. Have a good one.
Cut this.
All right. Well, that just about wraps it up for this episode. Dort, that was some good disco. I like just sitting back watching y'all. Darius Garland, top 5. I never thought I'd see the day. But man, that was a fun one. Man. Yeah, this was a great episode. You got anything to plug out before we head out of here?
Before we end off, I just want to say this is currently Apple and Spotify exclusive because once I said group bow, I stopped my recording. So is there any secret you want to keep from the YouTube audience, Trevor?
I don't believe you. I don't trust you at all. I will not speak a word.
Anything you want to say that's only exclusive to Spotify and Apple Podcast people?
I'm not wearing pants or boxers right now, just a shirt and socks and my Birks. That's all. Nope.
No one's recording. It's just us looking.
I don't believe you. That's why. I don't believe anybody that has Trae Young at number 8. I don't believe you at all. But if you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Beerly Hoops, at Beerly Sports. We got all the other sports in the bio. Check us out, like Dort said, on YouTube, TikTok. Join our Discord community, man. It's the year of the beer.
Bow.